Spiritual Manthan.
What if I told you that not all chosen ones are beams of pure light? That some are forged in fire? See, everyone talks about the chosen ones, like they're all the same, gentle, wise, peaceful. But what if that's only half the truth? What if there's another type, darker, bolder, wilder, equally divine, but with a totally different mission? Today, I'm going to reveal something that could change how you see yourself forever. We're diving into the 7 shocking differences between the dark and light chosen ones. By the end of this video, you'll not only know the difference, you'll know which one wire you are. Let's begin. Where the power comes from. Let's talk about power, not the kind that comes from status or money, but the deeper, soul-level kind. The kind that either heals or shakes the ground you walk on. Light chosen ones pull their power from alignment. When they're in tune with love, nature, and collective harmony, they become almost otherworldly. Their energy soothes chaos, calms storms, and brings people together. Think of them like a lighthouse, still, strong, and always shining, even in the darkest of nights. People feel safe around them without even knowing why. They guide with a glance, inspire with silence, and radiate peace in a way that makes the world feel a little less heavy. But then there are dark chosen ones. These souls don't find power in comfort. They pull it from discomfort. They don't chase unity. They thrive in solitude. They're like wildfires, unpredictable, fierce, and completely unignorable. Their presence doesn't soothe, it shakes. They walk into a room, and energy moves. People may feel uneasy, triggered, or completely drawn to them. Why? Because the dark chosen one reflects truth most try to avoid. They don't heal by putting a bandage on a wound. They rip it open and pour in raw honesty until transformation happens. Their power shocks people awake. They don't create peace, they create movement. And here's the thing, neither path is wrong. One unites, the other disrupts, but both are necessary. So the question isn't which one is better. The question is, which one feels like home to you? Are you the one who steadies the boat, or the one who flips it over so everyone learns how to swim? Relationship with pain. Pain, it's the great equalizer. The fire every soul must walk through. But the way we deal with it, that's where the real difference between dark and light chosen ones begins to reveal itself. Light chosen ones have this graceful way of rising above pain. They don't ignore it or pretend it never happened. They transcend it. Like a lotus blooming from muddy waters, they transform suffering into beauty. You'll often see them smiling, even when life's been cruel, not because they're faking it, but because they've alchemized the hurt into wisdom. Their path is forgiveness, acceptance, compassion. They teach others how to find peace in the chaos, how to heal without hating the wound. They're the calm in the storm, but dark chosen ones, they do the opposite. They become the storm. They don't rise above pain. They dive deep into it like it's a cave full of secrets. They sit in it, breathe it, study it, and then this is where the magic happens. They use it. They sharpen their pain into a weapon of truth. They don't ask the pain to leave. They ask what it came to teach. Dark chosen ones don't run from suffering. They master it. They know that inside every breakdown is a breakthrough waiting to be carved out. They use their scars as maps, their heartbreaks as fuel. And because they've walked through hell, they can guide others through it not by holding hands, but by lighting the fire under their feet. So tell me, when life crushed you, what did you do? Did you float above the flood? Or did you sink to the bottom, find something raw, and rise like lava? That answer alone may tell you more than you realize. Awakening others. How do you wake someone from a dream? Do you whisper softly in their ear? Or shake them until their world flips upside down? That's exactly where the third shocking difference between light and dark chosen ones lies, the way they awaken others. Light chosen ones are gentle guides. They don't force transformation, they invite it. Just being in their presence can feel like clarity, like suddenly remembering who you are. They speak with calm, move with grace, and radiate peace. They don't need to convince or argue. Their energy does the talking. People feel safe around them, accepted. Their message? You're already enough. Just remember, their style is resonance. They match your frequency, lift it slightly, and wait patiently as you rise to meet them. But dark chosen ones? They don't do gentle. They hit you with raw, unfiltered truth, the kind that stings before it heals. Their words, blunt. Their energy, unapologetically intense. They challenge, provoke, and press every button you didn't know you had. Why? Because they don't care about your comfort, they care about your awakening. Imagine being yanked out of a burning house while you're still dreaming about sunshine. That's what it's like to encounter a dark chosen one. It feels rude at first until you realize they just saved your life. They awaken through disruption. They're not here to be liked. They're here to break illusions, to crush the ego's comfort zone so your soul can finally breathe. People either hate them or become obsessed with them. There's rarely an in-between. So how do people react to your truth? Do they lean in quietly, feeling seen, or do they flinch then transform? Because sometimes it's not the whisper that changes lives. It's the earthquake. Relationship with the system. Let's talk about the Matrix. Not the movie, the real one. The web of social rules, institutions, beliefs, and expectations that most people live inside without even realizing it. The education system, government, corporate ladders, family expectations. It's all a part of the system. Now, how do chosen ones interact with that system? Light chosen ones often try to change it from the inside. They walk into these rigid structures, like healers entering a sick body. They see what's broken, and their mission is to gently restore balance. Maybe they become teachers who actually care, doctors who listen, or spiritual leaders who remind people of love instead of fear. They bring compassion to cold places. They uplift traditions by returning them to their core values. Their superpower? Elevating energy in environments that forgot what soul feels like. But dark chosen ones? They don't fix the system. They expose it. They challenge it, confront it, and when necessary, they burn it down. They're the misfits, the revolutionaries, the black sheep in every crowd. They don't care how long the system's been in place or how many people swear by it. If it's built on lies, manipulation, or control, it must go. They don't adapt. They don't conform. They rebel with purpose. And yes, it makes them dangerous to the status quo. Because once a dark chosen one walks through, the illusions start to crumble. So ask yourself, are you the bridge between the system and the sacred? Or are you the wrecking ball sent to clear space for something new? Both roles are needed. One patches the holes, the other builds a new foundation. Which one is yours? Inner conflict. Even the strongest souls face storms inside. In fact, the deeper your mission, the heavier the weight you carry. And that's where the fifth shocking difference between light and dark chosen ones shows up: what they battle within themselves. Light chosen ones often suffer from overgiving. Their hearts are wide open. They feel the pain of the world like it's their own. And because of that, they constantly pour into others, sometimes until they're empty. They can forget where others end and where they begin. Their boundaries blur. Their identity can dissolve into the collective energy they're trying to heal. Their greatest danger: losing themselves in the process of saving everyone else. They'll stay in toxic relationships too long. Say yes when their soul screams no. Stay quiet to keep peace, even if it breaks their spirit. Their lesson? To remember that they too deserve love, rest, and protection. Now flip the coin. Dark chosen ones battle with self-destruction. They burn so hot, they risk burning themselves alive. Their energy is raw, untamed, and explosive. They don't fall apart from overgiving, they fall apart from intensity. Rage, isolation, pressure. The very fire that fuels them also tries to consume them. They often walk alone, misunderstood, distrusted. They wrestle with the shadow-deep emotions, inner demons. A drive so powerful, it feels like it might tear them apart. Their challenge? To master their power without being devoured by it. To wield intensity with discipline. To embrace humility without losing edge. So look inward for a moment. Do you lose yourself trying to heal others? Or do you risk self-destruction because your power is hard to control? Either way, your soul is in training. But the battlefield looks very, very different. Connection to the divine. If you've ever felt a message come from somewhere beyond, a whisper when you were alone, a sudden knowing that didn't come from your mind, then you've already touched the divine. But how you connect to it, that's where the light and dark chosen ones split paths again. Light chosen ones have a soft flowing connection to higher realms. Their intuition is like a river, gentle, winding, constant. They receive through dreams, synchronicities, subtle signs. A song on the radio, a feather on the ground, a repeated number at exactly the right time. They hear the whispers of spirit. They follow the nudges. Their guidance flows like wind through trees, quiet but unmistakable. They don't force. They align. When they're attuned, life feels like a dance with the universe. Effortless, graceful. But then there's dark chosen ones. Their divine connection isn't gentle. It's raw, unfiltered, demanding. They don't wait for signs, they call out the spirit world and demand an answer. They walk into the void and wrestle with the divine like ancient warriors. They demand truth, not comfort, not ease, truth. Visions don't always come softly for them. They strike like lightning. Their intuition isn't a suggestion. It's a command, a feeling in their gut that overrides everything else. Sometimes it feels brutal, but that's because they're not asking the universe to show the way, they're carving the way. So reflect on this. When spirit speaks to you, does it feel like a soft breeze on your face or a thunderbolt in your chest? Because both are valid, both are sacred, but one asks and the other dares. Legacy. Everyone leaves something behind, but not all legacies look the same. Some are celebrated with awards, books, and applause. Others live quietly in the shadows, unnoticed, unspoken yet no less powerful. And that's exactly where the seventh shocking difference between light and dark chosen ones comes into play. How they leave their mark on this world. Light chosen ones often have visible legacies. Their impact is tangible, healed people, stronger communities, lasting wisdom. They're the teachers, counselors, mentors, creators who pour light into everything they touch. They leave trails of inspiration behind, like glowing footprints across time. Their energy builds temples, physical or emotional, where others feel safe to grow, evolve, and awaken. People remember them. They're often honored, respected, loved, even after they're gone. Their legacy lives in hearts and headlines. But dark chosen ones? Their legacy is hidden in the cracks of the world. They aren't always praised. In fact, they're often misunderstood, even feared. But what they shift, it's cosmic. They plant seeds of rebellion, of awakening, of deep soul transformation. They collapse paradigms. They shake timelines. They ignite fires inside people that can't be extinguished. Their legacy isn't in statues or stories. It's in frequency. They don't care about recognition. They care about revolution. They won't always be thanked, but decades or centuries later, the world will unknowingly be standing on the foundation they once tore down and rebuilt. So ask yourself this: do you want to be remembered? Or do you want to restructure reality, even if no one ever knows your name? because one plants a garden for today. The other burns the forest so something new can rise. Training the chosen ones. Being chosen isn't a crown, it's a calling. And that calling? It demands training. Not in the conventional sense. No classrooms. No certifications. The training of a chosen one happens in the wild through trials, inner battles, and spiritual fire. Let's break it down. Light chosen ones trained by tuning themselves like sacred instruments. Their practice is presence. Their rituals are gentle but consistent. Meditation, fasting, walking barefoot in nature, listening to divine music, cleansing their energy field until they're so pure, they become a vessel one through which divine energy flows effortlessly. Their strength comes from alignment. They don't force outcomes, they attract them. Their discipline is in staying calm, even when the world is in chaos. They become walking prayers, breathing mantras. Their very presence becomes medicine. Their weapon? Resonance. When they act, it's not with noise. It's with accuracy. Now the dark chosen ones? Their training is war. They enter the battlefield of energy every single day within themselves and the world. They train by enduring chaos, surviving isolation, conquering pain. They fast until their bodies tremble. They sit in silence until their thoughts scream. They face shadows most people spend lifetimes avoiding. Their strength is forged through fire, discipline, sacrifice. They don't wait for peace, they bend chaos into clarity. Their weapon? Command. They don't just receive divine flow, they drive it. The universe doesn't carry them, they move the universe. So what does your training look like? Are you in tune with the frequency of stillness? Or are you grinding your soul into a blade that cuts through illusion? Remember, both are sacred. One flows, the other strikes, but both change the world. How they act. Power isn't in what you say. It's in what you do when no one's watching. So let's talk action, because chosen ones don't just meditate and visualize. They move. And the way they act? It reveals everything about the energy they carry. Light chosen ones act with presence. Their moves are calm, subtle, intentional. They don't rush. They don't shout. They walk into a space, and suddenly the air feels lighter. Their power is felt more than seen. They create sanctuaries, homes for the soul, safe zones for healing. You'll find them writing books, starting healing circles, helping others quietly bloom. They're not loud, but their ripple effect is massive. They don't push people, they lift them. They're the type to say one simple sentence, and you'll be thinking about it for weeks. On the other hand, dark chosen ones, they don't ripple, they quake. Their presence demands attention. Their words shake belief systems. Their actions start movements. They don't tiptoe, they kick doors open. They don't wait for approval or applause. They act out of urgency, precision, necessity. Where the light chosen one plants flowers, the dark chosen one clears the weeds ruthlessly. They disrupt to awaken. They burn to rebuild. Their mission is not peace, it's truth. And that truth isn't always pretty, but it's always real. So reflect on your style. Are you the quiet shift people feel in their hearts? Or the thunder that crashes through illusions? Because both are sacred. One is a healing touch, the other is a divine slap. But both change lives.